This is American Fight Stories with Dabar, and we're showcasing people, showcasing great Americans, and we're showcasing excellent American fighters and challenging all Americans to be better Americans. And I am so excited today to have David Brannan and Sierra Brannan, husband, wife, some of my favorite people, guys. If you, gosh, I'm afraid to introduce these people as my friends because the people take them away from me, right? Right? Y'all start hanging out with other people and stuff, right?
You act like we have other friends.
I know y'all have other friends, and
I have two, and they're both here.
Yeah, I love these people so much. I love David and Sierra Brannan. American fighters. What are we fighting for? You guys are fighting all the time. Not each other, though. I love that.
No,
you guys, man, this is a team. I mean, I call it Team Brannan because in every way, this man, this woman have figured out a way to fight together, pull together, work together, live together, parent together. This is a phenomenal team. This is something that a lot of people should strive to have, and I'm just very thankful. I don't want them to cry now. These are I almost feel a tear coming up, but no, I'm very, very happy to have them on this podcast, and we're talking about fighters. David, I actually used to sponsor David as a fighter. He was my shorts model for Dabar Law, and he was he's the best shorts model I've ever had.
You should have wore the shorts today.
I still got the shorts. They don't fit anymore, but I still have them.
Yeah, he still has them. Yeah, but he is a fighter. I mean, if you've got David Brannan on your side, you have a fighter. He knows how to fight, not just fist fight, physical fight, but he is a man's man, and he's a phenomenal fighter. Fights with his brain, his intellect, his heart. He has a great heart.
I mean, I don't complain having you on my side.
Aw. And then we have Sierra, and she is fierce. She's a mama bear, fierce mama bear, and she's a wonderful mother. She's a friend. Do you have a lot of friends or not?
One, and we have the same mutual friend, Jessica.
Yeah. But she's a phenomenal friend, and I'm thankful that I'm blessed that we have been able to become friends, and I'm thankful to be for her family and to be trusted, right?
Yeah, you're definitely in the inner
I'm
circle.
in the circle, so I don't want to do anything to mess that up because she's really a very special person, and
when you can call somebody at 3 a.m. with a problem, that means you're in the circle.
Mm-hmm. But I love you guys so much, and I don't mean to be any weirder than I already have been, but I love you guys. You can't do. I say this all the time. David Brannan can't do no wrong, or his wife, or his children. So don't say nothing about David Brannan, Team Brannan,
exactly.
Right? That's right, Team Brannan. So we're talking about fight stories. I feel like I could probably have about 10 episodes with you guys alone. So what are we fighting for right now, guys? What are we fighting for?
Right now, really nothing. Life is good.
Life is good.
I would say our life is extremely
peaceful right now.
What did you have to fight to get it this peaceful?
Everything.
Top 3 things you were fighting.
Just to get here, child custody.
Child custody.
Been at peace, thanks to you.
We met. We met in the middle of a child custody issue.
It was awful.
But we got through that.
Yep.
We got through that. And you guys.
The thing was, everybody assumed, I think, because she was a mother. You're granted certain rights, and that's not the case. I feel like fathers should be granted equal rights.
Okay.
you know.
So we're
Especially good fathers.
gonna try to keep the claws under control here.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep them under
Let me
control.
just say, Sierra Brannan. Now, if I was gonna have somebody fighting on my side, I'd want Sierra Brannan on my side, because I would just raise the little white flag and say she got me, because Sierra is
No, she
she's
gave
a
birth
fierce
to Cruz
fighter.
one day, and then we got custody of the girls the very next day while she was still in the hospital.
That's true.
Yeah, remember we went to
Yep.
Clarksdale and got custody of the girls the next
We
day.
did.
After
We
she gave birth.
hydroplaned
Yeah.
all the way to
Hey,
Clarksdale.
we made it though. It was more of a
And
boating
this
trip, but we made
this is the original Fast and Furious through the Delta.
Yeah, you still had the GTO.
it. Yeah, so we
Yeah,
did
he
that.
had I rode shotgun in the GTO, and
Your mama was in the
Mama
back
was-
seat.
and his mama was in the back seat telling him how to drive. So
raining,
it was
awful. It was more like a
epic.
boating trip.
It was an epic adventure that day. But we got the babies,
Yep.
and we got a baby the next day, little
He was
Cruzy.
born the day before.
That day before,
Yeah, that's why I couldn't go.
yeah. It was
At the
wonderful.
hospital to go get my girls.
But David is an awesome father. So I met him as a father that was frustrated,
That's an
very
understatement.
frustrated, legally and every way, that he wanted an opportunity to be a better father, or be available
I
to
was saying,
be.
we were just trying to be present at that
Yeah,
time, like
just-
50-50.
Yeah, just
Something.
trying to get
And,
something.
We ended up with everything, which is what my
So
girls
we
deserve.
got-
So
Yeah. And he's never stopped. He's every day he gets up, makes it happen. He puts on his all of his different roles as
I was saying, every
mon-
day is definitely different.
as
in
a
our
money
house.
maker. He makes it
very
happen.
good partner though, and without her, I couldn't have done it. There's no way. Without you, I wouldn't have my girls. Without her, I wouldn't either, for that matter, because I've got to have strong support. And
Well,
No, definitely. I think our traditional roles,
Yeah.
the fact that we did it that way,
yeah, we do things really traditional in my house.
made like a whole difference.
okay.
Yeah.
So what's the behind the scenes? What does Team Brannan household look like?
She does what she's supposed to.
Nice. I can tell
No,
you
we
that's
do-
not
we-
happening.
No, we're traditional. Like, she cooks and cleans and does the housework and stuff. And I primarily provide, of course. She went back work, writing bonds a couple of years ago, and does her part. But now she didn't want to work. She wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, and I'm like, cool, great. We struggled for a while. Money was tight, money was tough.
Yeah, no, when we met, you worked multiple jobs. I worked multiple jobs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then she was provided the opportunity to be a stay-at-home mom, and which, of course, she does cooking, cleaning, housework, whatever. And
Love that job.
Make it work.
yeah,
Yeah.
it just
I-
works. We don't have to make it work. It
100%.
just works.
It fell into place like it was supposed to. I feel like I was meant to be a mom.
Hmm. You're a great mother. You're just
Yeah,
a
it's
great
awesome,
mother.
Mom.
I want to throw this out here before I just have a runaway and forget all about it. But this is David Brannan and Sierra Brannan. They own two companies that I'm aware of.
I manage one.
One Way or Another Consulting. And then there's also Sierra writes bonds for ABBA bail bonds.
Yep, I manage.
And
the
there's an ad right there on her T-shirt. So ABBA bail bonds sparkles, and all that glitters is not gold. But I can promise you, she is gold. It's not gold lettering, but it is gold. She's gold, and this is so. It's if you want to reach out to them. If y'all trying to steal my friends, okay, you can send them an email at onewayOrAnother@gmail.com, onewayOrAnother@gmail.com. And then also there's a telephone number on the T-shirt that Sierra's wearing, 901-493-0046. She's a great problem solver.
Or problem causer.
Maybe a problem causer, maybe a few
She may be
times.
the
No.
problem.
If you catch her on a good day, she'll probably solve your problem, tell you what to do. But listen to her. She's a great consultant. But tell us a little bit about what all you do to support your family.
Well, we own a security company, of course, one way or another.
One Way or Another
I
Consulting
know.
is a security company for Memphis, Tennessee.
in the surrounding area.
Yeah.
We go wherever you pay us to go, pretty much.
Okay.
We provide everything from business security to private security, not just for, celebrities or, whatever, with private families as well. Memphis is a dangerous city. Your wife wants to go holiday shopping, your daughter wants to go shopping, scared to be on public, nervous. We will provide you with a bodyguard at a fair rate. Go to the mall with you, shopping, whatever you want to do. That ensures your safety and your family's safety. You get home safe.
Right.
But we provide service at a fair rate because not everybody's a millionaire.
Right.
But everybody deserves the same protection.
Well, I trust David. If I needed to go to Memphis and I did not feel safe, and I do not feel safe, and you should not feel safe in Memphis, but it's right now the number one homicide.
Most violent city in the country.
Most violent city in the United States is Memphis, Tennessee, and people getting shot, all kinds of preachers, plural, carjacking, getting run off the road, bullet holes in your car. And David, now I pray for David. I pray for David and a few of our other friends in the bounty hunting bondsman type business. I pray for them. I don't know that it's all my prayers or anything, but I've prayed for them for years. I was afraid to get attached to them because of how dangerous it was, but they're still here, thank God. And but they are also phenomenal. They're a man's man of knowing how to anticipate moves and dealing with guns and violence and intercepting and
a lot of training.
Lots of training.
Lots of time, lots of money spent.
Lots of time, lots of money spent.
All the time.
So,
no, our guys are very top quality guys because we send, even our 17-year-old out with a security guard.
Wow.
Yeah, Angel's got a bodyguard.
She has her own bodyguard.
Yeah.
She needs a bodyguard. She's beautiful.
For the last, 4 or 5 years?
Yeah.
He's gone everywhere with her.
It's pretty bad when even your angel needs a bodyguard, right?
I mean,
Memphis is dangerous when the angels are needing bodyguards.
Oh, no, she takes him even around DeSoto County.
Yeah.
At some point, I think she just kind of befriended him, just kind of makes him go with her just because.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Entitlement issues or something.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So how do you stay safe in Memphis?
You just be aware of your surroundings, just, I don't know, just pay attention to where you're at. I don't know, I've never felt bad going anywhere in Memphis. I mean, I'm from Memphis. I've never been like, oh, no, I can't go to this part of town, or I can't go over here, whatever. I just do what I want to, just pay attention to where I'm at.
I feel like we're always just super vigilant. And then
just
even making sure, like, when I'm out and have the kids with me, like, they're aware, like, stay close. Because anything can obviously happen anywhere.
Yeah, bad things happen all the time. They can happen, like you said, anywhere. So I just feel like if something's going to happen, it's going to happen. Just be aware of what's going on around you. Just pay attention, keep your doors locked. Get a gun, learn to use it.
Get a gun, learn to use
it.
Yeah. So, what other things do you do?
I've been in bail enforcement off and on since 2007. It's been the primary source of my income most of my adult life. I've been sort of bound here. I work with fraud recovery. Of course, me and Tony actually started fraud some years ago, and we've really been successful with it. And I drove a repo truck for a while, and I've been out of a truck a couple of years.
Yeah, only a couple of years.
Yes, I was still back and forth on truck for a week.
You go back and forth, so it's hard to say, like, you're out of
they still
doing
call
one
now.
thing.
Like, hey, can you pick up some cars? And I'll still go pick up cars.
Yeah, if they call you today, that you know.
Yeah. I spent all weekend, all night long, sitting in the parking lot from 6 at night till 6 in the morning because the power was down, out of business in Memphis, and
power down, security down, right? Yeah. So security systems are down.
Their fence was down, and they'd been robbed several times in the past, so I spent all weekend hanging with those guys. But once you pay me to do it, I'm probably going to do it.
Yeah, and keeping it safe.
Yeah, you can't limit yourself, I don't think, because you can't just say, hey, this is what I do, this is who I am. If you called and said, hey, can you do this, and it's something I'm able to do, and you're going to pay me to do it, and I'm going to go do it.
I was like, you do a little bit of everything. Yeah. Like, you might be doing security tonight, and then tomorrow, if our fence breaks, he's repairing a fence.
Yeah. And he serves papers.
Yeah, I do process service. Yeah,
he serves papers for me. He's still.
I was serving papers last night.
We've both done it for you. Yeah. I mean, there's pretty much nothing the Brannan household doesn't.
It's a get her done kind of family. Yeah. It's a get her done.
Entrepreneur.
Man of many hats. Other people will want my business for serving papers, but they don't want to go to Nutbush and serve papers. They don't want to go to the jail, or they don't want to do
Shoot, I'm
this.
going in the jail,
Yeah.
sitting down with you. Here's your papers.
Sierra and David Brannan, they will go anywhere. They'll get it done. Yep, that's what they do. But what do you tell your kids about being safe and about being an American? What do you teach your kids about American values?
Just be better than me.
Okay.
Go to school, get an
I
education.
don't know if that's possible.
Yeah, we all want better.
You
for
got
our kids.
regrets?
Of course, we all have regrets.
What?
Yeah, we all have regrets. Absolutely.
I thought you were living your dream right now.
I am living my dream right now, but I regret things up until my dream.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
We still want the kids to be better.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does that mean, better?
Live a better life, just not. Everybody lives a struggle at some point. I think everybody should.
Well, and neither of us had like a general regular education. Both of us have GEDs.
Yeah,
Okay.
Get a GED.
But you get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah. No excuses.
Yeah, don't make excuses. No. And
No.
of course, I come from a single parent household. I was raised by my mom, and of course, I'm very present in my kids' lives, and I want that for them. I didn't have a dad, and I didn't know what that was like. And I didn't want my kids to experience that. So, and thanks to you, I get to live that with my children. And,
They're trying to make me cry now. No, it's opportunities. I really feel blessed that I was able to meet you guys and to help you. It's blessed my heart tremendously to get to, see the kids. I mean, that's a month or so ago. We sat down and ate Valentine's. What was that?
No, it was
Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
We eat Mexican food at the Cinco de Mayo. Yeah. It's wonderful.
I'd kind of been done wrong by another attorney. And he took my money and wouldn't work my case. And so I didn't have much money when he took my case.
He wouldn't even tell us that he wouldn't take our case.
Yeah, he just took my money.
Until we were kind of backed
I'm
in
not
a
going to put his
corner.
name out there or anything.
Yeah.
But,
No.
but I didn't have much money when you took my case. And
whatever you had, I needed it at the time.
I did too. I needed you to have it.
I needed it.
No, I think we were given an opportunity when we met you.
Yeah, it wasn't by accident.
Yeah.
And it was, exactly. I don't think it was by accident.
We didn't cross paths by accident.
Well, I definitely appreciate it, and I'm thankful you've had the opportunity to be a dad, because you're a phenomenal dad, and I see. I hate to say proud, but I'm very thankful for the father that I see you be to your children. That's encouraging. You didn't just do it to get out of child support, or you didn't just show up.
I wanted my kids.
You really wanted to be a father to your kids.
I wasn't real good at every other weekend.
Yeah.
Shoot, if it was just for child support, we'd spend way less money now.
Yeah, it's a wonderful team. Brannan is awesome, and I'm excited. Little Cruzy that I've known since birth.
Yeah,
he's always like ready for school with suit, tie, bow tie. I mean, he's ready to be somebody's professor.
He's ready to run the company.
Oh
tomorrow.
Yeah, he's ready. He's Fortune 500 now.
Yes.
Yes.
He is ready to go to work.
So you're already raising the next generation of America. And he knows how to shoot a gun.
Yep.
What else does he know?
Basic self-defense.
Basic self.
He's 9 years old.
Confident.
He's confident.
Oh,
He's just
yeah.
tiny,
I think the thing is we raise all of our kids to do what we do plus more.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all carry themselves with confidence.
Yeah. I told I begged David to be on this show. Like, he's one of like the top people,
Yeah, we briefly discussed it.
Yeah. So I'm like, David, okay, just come. Just come. I don't care what you wear. Most of the time now, after I thought about it, now, David, if you know David's a surprise kind of guy. He could have showed up here in a red Speedo, because I said, what, you could wear whatever. Yeah. But a lot of the times I see David, he's got like full tactical gear on. He's got body cam. He's got bulletproof vest.
That stuff's heavy though.
Yeah, I know. You didn't have to. You don't have to wear it here. You're pretty safe. Sarah's here to protect you. But they're both of them as a couple. They're a power couple, and I love seeing them together, and I love seeing them work together and have joy and happiness as they, whatever they're doing. They're just an amazing team to have around.
It just works. Like, we don't force anything. It just works.
No, it feels super effortless.
Yeah.
I think is.
We've all had our problems like everybody else did in the past and everything.
Yeah.
But we don't really argue over anything, and it just works.
Yeah.
Like, our life really just it flows.
Mm-hmm.
But we definitely had our trials and tribulations to get there.
Yeah. Like what? I know somebody's thinking that as you're saying it.
Normal everyday stuff.
How do you fight? How do you fight fair in a marriage? That's a great question. I know this is a great, because a lot of people, as I'm talking to people about their marriages, it's like they don't know how to fight fair.
We don't fight. Like we
have discussion.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the thing I think at the beginning when we were both stubborn and learning was when we had our learning curve.
Okay.
And now if we have an issue, he can bring something to me and it's okay. Okay. I hear where you're coming from. What can I do on my side as your wife to make you feel okay with whatever you're not agreeing with? And then vice versa. If I'm not happy that he's been at work for a week, because it gets that way.
Yeah.
Hey, I need your time. I just need some time with you.
Yeah.
I need my husband.
And, we still date. Like we'll go on like lunch dates and stuff. And it's like I'll call him, like, hey, well, meet me over here for sushi, or let's go over here and get Mexican. Just in the middle of the day. Or, hey, let's go to my favorite.
And you brought her today. That was. Yeah. I told him. I said, David, you can come today and bring a friend.
I don't have any friends.
He has a lot of friends. Everybody's friend. Yeah. There's a lot of people that would have came up here with you today. A lot of interesting people, but he brought his friend. He brought his wife, and I was not shocked that he brought Sierra.
The thing is, I think,
and if we didn't do it today, we were going to do it another day. Yeah. But
we're best friends.
Yes.
At the end of the day, is he makes sure to make time for me.
Good.
And vice versa.
Good.
Even though the kids are our common goal all the time, and they're the main focus.
We still make time for each other.
We always make time for each other. We're getting ready to go on a vacation. We only do that 3 times a year.
And y'all go big when y'all go on vacations.
We're going down to Panama City.
Oh.
Never been.
Y'all went to Hawaii the last time.
Yeah, but we took the kids.
We're not taking the kids.
This time we're not taking the kids.
Oh, okay.
This time is an us thing.
Yes,
good.
We're not taking kids this time. Just
us. Sarah, tell us a little bit about being a lady bail bondsman. What about that?
It's a man's world, for sure.
I disagree. I think women write bonds easier than men do.
I think the men are more dominating.
See how defensive he got. See how defensive he's automatically defensive of her.
Yeah.
This is what I love about you. I've seen you guys grow over the years.
Yeah, we've been together almost 12 years.
And she surrendered to the fact she's his wife.
Yes.
Which is a place. And
you ask anybody, I'm David Brannan's wife.
Yes, absolutely. There is no question about the place in his heart, in his attitude, his actions. There's nobody, you're not replaceable. And neither one of you are replaceable for each other.
No.
So it's a security. You really have the supreme security thing in your relationship, in your marriage. So I respect that. And I've seen that develop and solidify over the years that I've known. No, it didn't happen overnight.
No,
but you're both committed.
Super safe.
Yeah.
And knowing I'm David Brannan's wife.
It's not like a Neanderthal knuckle dragging or anything like that. No, there's a respect between the two of you that you're not just my possession. You're not like my woman.
Have to respect each other.
Yeah, it's not like a caveman thing.
I think that's like a misconception though that people think whenever we're like, oh yeah, we do traditional roles. Is he tells me what to do? Mm-hmm. No, I
better do it.
I do what I need to do.
And she's a phenomenal cook.
I respect my husband.
Cook.
She's an amazing cook.
And I like to take care of my family.
Yes, she likes to take care of her family. But back to the question about being a lady bondsman. He was supportive, defensive.
Oh, no.
He encouraged.
I wouldn't do what I do if it wasn't for him.
Okay. So how did that happen? How did that decision happen to be a lady bondsman?
In the bail bonds world for our whole marriage and relationship, and the opportunity was presented for me to go to work, and I was a little iffy on it because I like being at home with my kids. Mm-hmm. I prefer being at home with my kids.
Yes, you do.
But I was given the opportunity to manage ABBA bail bonds. I took it, ran with it, and I do love it. I love working.
You do a phenomenal job, and you know what? Why do I refer people to you? Because you show up. Because I know you're going to take care of them.
Oh, yeah.
You take care of business. TCB, basic stuff.
When people come to a bail bondsman, especially if you've never been in the situation to get somebody out of jail, it's a scary thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so to have all these questions and then have a woman come to you, because I parent everybody and mother everybody that I talk to. So I think that's what makes it easy is I'm comfortable to talk to.
Good.
And when they're like, oh, well, my son's in jail, I'm like, I'm a mom. I get it. I feel so bad for you. How can I help?
Just get my baby out so I can hug him. Yeah.
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 Oh, I'm that mom in the parking lot. I switch off from being the bail bondsman whenever your kid comes out and you're hugging your kid crying. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Bittersweet.
She's on it though. I mean, as soon as you call her, she's down there, she's getting them out ASAP, getting them out of jail.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to call and wait a day or two, or if she doesn't answer the phone. She answers the phone. It's just basic stuff. Answer the phone, fill out the paperwork, take care of people.
Oh, yeah. No, I jump in the car. Mm-hmm. I think because I treat it more personable, I'm good at what I do.
You're good. I think you'd be great at anything you do. All right. What else about American stuff? What are we fighting? Anybody, have you had any recent fights?
No. That's the thing is like when people are like, oh, you guys don't argue, we legit don't argue.
What about you recently lost your grandfather recently?
I lost two grandfathers.
Two grandfathers. Was there any kind of fight involved in that? Uh-oh.
There was.
We don't have to talk about that, but
it's.
What about the fight for health?
I think the fight is I fought to be present.
Yes.
And it was a choice I made, and not everybody would have made that choice.
Yeah.
So here's what a lot of folks don't know, okay? She was only in Memphis to take care of her grandmother with cancer. When I met her, she's from Missouri.
So you met her as a caretaker, taking care of family.
I'll tell you about that. Okay,
go ahead.
She moved here from Missouri to take her grandmother had cancer, and grandma, of course, died of cancer. But she moved here from Missouri to take care of her grandparents. When we met, I was driving a repo truck, and she was applying for a job at a friend of mine's mother's restaurant. Okay. And we were in there eating lunch, me and a group of friends, and they said, I'm going to have to go over and sit down and act like I was doing her interview. So I
have not heard this story, but go ahead.
She's filled out her application, right? I go over and I sit down and I pick it up. And I'm thumbing through it or whatever. She's like, do you work? I said, no, I'm just looking for your phone number.
Aww.
I know. She says, well, I have a boyfriend. I'm like, well, cool. I said, but can he fight?
There's American fight. You got to fight for your woman right there at the beginning.
Well, me and said partner then, we're not on good, the fact
she don't
that
even know his name. That's a good thing.
Matter.
Yeah, I'm saying it's irrelevant. The fact that I was working two jobs and
still working,
and was trying to struggle, and then we met literally a week later at a gas station.
Yeah, she stalked me at a gas station. I was in a gas station.
I walked into the gas station, and he followed me and stood there and watched me pay, and then opened the door for me as I left.
Oh, chivalry is alive and well.
Yeah, she had my phone number. She started harassing me and driving by my house and stuff, and looking at my windows. And
I did not.
It makes the story more interesting. David is hilarious. They're both hilarious. They make each other laugh.
Really, she just started doing wife shit before we were even officially a thing, and it just never stopped.
Okay.
I know.
Well, it works. Whatever it is, it works. So
we didn't force it. We weren't even really just trying to be together, to be honest about it.
No, it just happened.
It just happened, and here we are.
He would be like, "Hey, let's go to dinner," and I'm like, "Okay."
The endless decisions of where do we eat.
It was funny because
she's a great cook, by the way. Again,
and we'd go out to eat, and she's like, I can't cook too, And I'm like, well, cool. I said, well, what can you cook? And she's like, well, anything. So I just started Googling just crazy stuff, right? Telling her what I wanted. And she's like, okay.
You would rice and a pineapple.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah.
Did you try it, or did you just tell her no?
I finally left her alone. She was like, okay, just leave money at home, and I'll go get stuff for dinner. Come home for dinner. And after about 3 or 4 weeks of it, I'm like, okay, you can cook. I just finally just left her alone. I'm like, cool, I got this. I was just playing. My bad.
Yeah, Sierra used to post stuff on Facebook about all the dishes she made, but she'd post them about 11:30 or 12. It'd be David would be getting home in the middle of the night, after midnight, and Sierra's posting the meal of the day or whatever.
No. She was actually like cooking that for me in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
I was coming home at midnight
which
eating.
Made me starve. Like instantly, I see this delicious meal that Sierra's posting. I'm like, you can't post stuff like this. Like we can't get that stuff.
I still do it
in
now.
the middle of the night.
I'll come home at 2 or 3 in the morning, but like I'm hungry, and she'll cook me a full meal. It's not like we'll go make a sandwich.
Steak,
baked potato. Yeah. It's an honor.
Steak and eggs, whatever.
I think that's the thing that makes it work is my family is always a priority. My kids are a priority, but he knows he's a priority.
He is. He's good.
I probably starved to death.
I appreciate you taking good care of him, and I appreciate him taking good care of you.
I need it taken care of.
Yeah. I just think it's awesome that, you guys are out there and doing good stuff every day. I know
of course, she's taking in a whole other child pretty much.
Yeah.
He can't do no wrong. There's a whole generation of David Brannan can't do no wrong.
No, we got another one living on the couch right now.
I would say, hey, David got his mini David.
Uh-oh.
When our 17-year-old is now dating a mini version of her daddy.
Oh, no.
He's a good kid, and I tried not to like the little shithead. I really did. I did. I tried hard, and I can't help but like the little jackass. But
we see potential, though. I think is our thing.
Angel really cares a lot for him, so they seem to care a lot for each other. So just let her out and see what happens.
Yeah. I'm excited for y'all. I've wanted to talk just a little bit about what's your thoughts on what's going on out in. What about murders in Memphis, and what are you thinking about all that? What do you think about justice in Memphis?
Cash Patel, of course, said he's going to send 2,500 FBI agents to Memphis by the end of the summer.
Okay.
Of course, and the bail enforcement by primarily did most of the work out of Memphis, and we're already seeing FBI presence and things like that. And I've got friends that work organized crime, and one of my best friends for that matter works organized crime, and we were talking the other day, and they've got them, of course, serving warrants every day, violent offenders every day. But he said the problem is, it's not the judges are letting them out as fast as we're putting them in jail. Low bonds or no bond at all. Just they served 57 felony violent warrants over a weekend, and by Tuesday, 38 or 39 of them were already back out of jail.
Say that again.
So they served 57 warrants on violent offenders over a weekend, and by Tuesday, I think it was 38 or 39 of them were already back out of jail.
More than half.
Yeah, more than half on very low bonds or no bond at all.
Literally a revolving door.
It's a revolving door. Yeah, exactly. It's like, and most of them are repeat offenders. Mm-hmm. It's not their first time. It's, the same crime over and over again, but there's no consequences. And that's the problem with our legal system, and especially Shelby County, is the fact that there is no consequences.
If there's no enforcement of the law, there is no law.
And of course, as far as the police go, they can only do so much. They put people back in jail, and the judges, let them back out as fast as they're putting them in jail.
But why would they put them in jail?
Exactly.
It's more effort that you're working yourself to death to put them in.
The police department is so downsized, it's awful. Like, they don't have enough officers to cover anything. They're cutting their overtime. And I hate it for those guys. I couldn't imagine being a cop in Memphis. I couldn't. Yeah. There's no way. And it's awful. They said they're cutting overtime. They don't make any money.
And I think you see it on all aspects of it, because we know people who work for MPD.
I was talking to a buddy of mine on the Shelby County Fugitive Task Force the other day, and he told me they've got 32 cars. They're supposed to have 2 people in each car. He said they've got 2 patrol cars on the street, 2 fugitive cars on the street. 2 out of 34.
2 fugitive patrol cars, right?
Out of 34.
Out of 34. Are they all wrecked out?
No,
or
they don't have
the staff to put them in.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to work.
Yeah.
I mean, I think being a cop's such an underpaid job.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Completely agree. It's underappreciated.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, those cops, there's bad cops. And of course, there's bad cops too. There's bad people and everything, but you can't judge a whole group by one person. And there's bad seeds in every group.
So did you personally look at the videos on even Tyre Nichols?
So when the Tyre Nichols stuff took place, I was actually on a security detail with a news station.
Okay.
When his mother.
Yeah, when they shut down the bridge.
Yeah, when they shut down the bridge, I was on the bridge with the news crew. It was awful, and I firmly believe those. Of course, those guys are going to federal prison. Of course, they were found not guilty on the state level, but of course, the federal courts, found them guilty, and they're going to prison. But no, that was awful, man. The way they done that kid was. I saw those videos from the body cams and the Sky Cop. And those guys deserve. Every one of them, life in prison. Even the guys that just stood by and did nothing, they're still guilty because they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
You know, you're allowing this to go on.
Failed to intervene.
Yeah. The fireman that wrote it up is some bullshit accident. The kid had a broken neck. Send his ass to prison too.
So what are you like hearing or seeing in the streets about like gang activity, or where like setting up scenarios that are, you know, are what we're seeing in the streets or what's portrayed on the news? Is that really what's going on, or are those?
I think so. Of course, you know, Memphis has a really high gang affiliation, more than not, and of course, you know, they've got their little groups that, you know, do their own little thing or whatever. But of course, the majority of Memphis is gang affiliated. It's most of the younger guys. I know gang members myself. I know a handful of them, you know, that I'm social with. You know, they're not bad people. I understand that, you know, some guys do it because it's a way of life. You know,
it's a family.
It's a family. Yeah,
it's maybe a family when people go to prison.
Thing, I think in Memphis.
My dad was a part of this, or, you know, so and so my uncles were. So I did the same thing, vice versa. But these young guys are like, man, they have no value for life. Like, they don't understand it. You know, there's 14, 15-year-old kids killing people, you know, with zero remorse. And
why are they killing people?
Like,
why would a 13-year-old or 14-year-old
no value for life?
No value for life.
They don't understand it. You know, there's consequences. You know, for a bullet or forever. You know, on both sides. You know, it's, you know, you decide you're going to go kill somebody. You know, you get caught in prison potential for the rest of your life, unless a judge, you know, says, hey, you know, you screwed up, you know, whatever. Which I think the death penalty would make more sense. You know, if you take a life, you should have your life taken.
Yeah.
And just, I don't care if you're 14 years old. You know right from wrong. You know, 14, 15-year-old kids are killing people. You know, I'd say it would start executing these kids too. You know, this shit'll stop. It is what it is.
I mean, it's just a fact. Even doing what I do, I get calls all the time, and I'm 17 years old, 16 years old, and they're in the adult facility because they committed a felony.
Right.
And most of the time it is for attempted murder, conspiracy, like serious charges.
They're taking big boy charges for.
And there should be big boy consequences. I don't care how old you are. You know, you choose to break these laws, you should pay the consequences.
But do they even really have the mental? Do they even understand the consequences?
I don't care. They know right from wrong.
They know killing somebody's wrong.
You know, hey, killing somebody's bad. Stealing somebody's car is bad. Breaking someone's house is bad. You know, I saw that thing where was it Florida, where those three boys broke in that house and they were shot and killed, and the family was trying to sue the guy that killed them. I'm like, no, had these kids not broken this man's house, they'd still be alive.
Okay. So you're referring to a story that just broke over the last few days about kind of an elderly guy that was, there's three kids that came to the porch.
15, 16, and 18.
Yep. Came in, they kicked the door.
Fired a shot inside of his house.
Yep.
And he shot and killed. One of them died on the spot and two of them died in the hospital.
Yeah. So the family wants to sue the old man because it was like a wrongful death. Yeah. And he was in his own home.
Yeah.
Like he did it too quickly or too easily. He could have called the law. I think that's what I heard.
I don't understand when a kid's kicking your door with a pistol. I don't think you have time to call anybody.
No.
I think my pistol is a faster response than my telephone.
911.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. I think we're so realistic about life. Like even our 9-year-old, when we taught him to shoot at 4. You know, he understood.
This is Cruz. Cruz is not a normal 9-year-old. He was never a normal baby. Okay, this is a superhuman. Okay,
certain things are permanent.
Yeah,
he
respect for life,
respect for the weapon itself, things like that. And these kids are out here just kind of running wild. I want my 9-year-old to know if our home is in danger. You may have to respond. Yeah.
And you could respond.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, we've had people walk into our house. It's a scary thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So do you let your kids play like video games? Do you feel like those are good?
When I left the house, Cruz was sitting on the couch playing Fortnite when I left the house.
Fortnite.
Yeah. I was like, him and Dylan were on the couch playing video games.
Dylan was playing video games when I left the house. They were playing Fortnite.
But the thing is, they know the difference in like video games.
Video games
in real life.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anything else about being an American? Anything else? What are you thinking? What do you think about? You're also a veteran.
Yeah.
You're a veteran. How did the military help you?
So I was kind of a trouble kid. I had
whatever the recipe is, you turned out to be a great man. So
I'd picked up a felony. And I'd already joined the Army. I hadn't gone to basic training yet, but I picked up a felony.
He's blushing right now. I don't know if I can see that.
I went to court.
He doesn't blush very much.
It was it was right after 9/11.
Okay.
And the judge told me, she says that she would remain my case to my. It wasn't a victim. It was a theft charge. I stole a 4-wheeler out of a field. Was what it was. Didn't hurt anybody. Of course, I was right after 9/11. The judge told me, she says, you go fulfill your military contract, and I will remain this to your file for life.
That's wonderful.
Okay, so I paid my restitution, and I was at Fort Knox on my 19th birthday.
Wow.
In October.
And the rest is history.
Yeah. And it really straightened me out. It gave me structure. And so it really...
They helped you grow up a lot.
It really did. It made me grow up.
A lot of veterans I've talked to, came from... Broken homes, troubled homes, or father issues or whatever, and the military just kind of helps you father up,
it gives you some
grow
structure.
up a little bit, structure. Yeah. It helps give you the basics of learning how to be an adult. So
it's funny, Zach Garner, of course. We were talking the other night, and the majority of my adult advice came from people like Zach Garner. We were talking the other night. I met Zach shortly after I got out, and he actually got me in the bail bond business. Mm-hmm. And I ran my first case with him and fell in love with it. And so we've never parted ways. I've worked for Zach everywhere from the towing company to the bail bond company to whatever. And so we were actually talking the day before yesterday.
Shoot, Zach gave me our first advice together. Yeah. Whenever I met him, Zach come into the restaurant that I met him working at and said, You're dating David Brannan? I said, yeah. He goes, if you can get through it, it'll be worth it.
Yeah, if you get through it.
I was like, okay.
Hey, we're still getting through it, ain't we? That's wonderful.
I think with Zach, he showed me there was a wall I had to get through. Mm-hmm. But once I was in, I was in.
Yep, you're in. You're part of the wall. Yeah. What do you go on some of these security details to different areas of the country? Yeah. Is there anything you want to share about things that you've observed that people would be maybe shocked about, or?
So
is it staged? Are a lot of these? I'm hearing that a lot of these, events, take over the bridge, take over
the paid protesters and the paid agitators. That's very real. I worked the riots in Louisville when Breonna Taylor was killed, and that was one of my first big details. And I met guys that were actually paid agitators and paid to cause problems and stuff like that, and then a lot of it's just people that want attention. They're just there just
for social media.
Yeah, well, look, we can go up here and we can tear shit and nobody can do anything about it.
Yeah,
and but yes, the paid protester thing's very real. Of course, I'm sure that a part of what's going on in LA is probably paid, and it's
media driven.
Yeah, media driven. Mm-hmm. Y'all go do this, and a lot of it's for attention, of course, and a lot of it's also very real.
So, like the picture with the guy standing on the car with the Mexican flag, you think that's a real American, or you think that's somebody, regardless, he ain't on our side, so to speak?
I don't understand how you're going to flee from a country and then burn the country you want to live in and wave the flag of the country that you fled. It's like, we want to be here, but...
It's a complicated thing, because, my family sits on two sides of that.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I look at it. I understand, we need border policies. We need border control. I don't understand sending grandma and grandma, back to Mexico that's been here for 30 years. They've established a life, and I don't understand these guys that are, honestly, here to work, by all means, we got overran, by gang members and, so on and so forth, and it's, of course, by all means, they need to sort things out and send those people back, home or whatever. But these people that are genuinely here to work, I think that our immigration policy shouldn't be as tough as it is. Because a good friend of mine, Lil Tony, got his citizenship some years ago, and he said, man, he said, that test is awful. Like, they have to know shit that I don't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can graduate from high school here and not even know what they have to know.
You need a college degree to pass that exam. Like, you have to know the Constitution inside and out, and some crazy stuff that I don't even know.
Do you know I graduated law school and never had to read the Constitution?
That's crazy. But
that's a fact. I didn't have to read the Constitution.
But these immigrants, like I said, I think it should be a little easier for people to come to our country because it is a great country. It's, there's money to be made, and you can come here and strive if you want to, and you can come here and script if you want to.
Well, and the thing is, we know people who legit were illegal and just doing their best to get by.
Yeah.
And then what we also see and pick up people who are here just messing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we see both sides of it.
She had a fellow trying to bond out of jail. He split his brother's gut open.
Yeah.
And intestines came out, and he lived through it. But he's an affiliated gang member from Central America, and of course he got sent back home.
He need to go back home.
Yeah. Well, the thing is,
if you're going to slit stomachs open, just go on back to Central America.
I've got a friend whose mom brought him over here in a backpack.
Wow.
And he's, like I said, just a great dude, man. I love him to death. But, I think our immigration policy should be, a little more lenient.
It's messy right now. It's really pretty messy.
And I think it's going to take a lot to get it under control.
Mm-hmm. It's been
a tough area to be in.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to talk about because it's like I'm on one side of it, but I'm kind of biased. Like, leave certain people alone, but send others back.
Yeah,
it's
we're like
yeah, it's like
let's pick and choose, kind of.
It's like, okay, well, you're screwing up, so we're going to send you back to Guatemala, Honduras, whatever. But you're here working, providing for your family.
What people don't realize though is they look at people like David and I, and they're like, well, yeah, he's probably just a Republican, and he just doesn't. And that's not the case.
I don't sit on the other side of that fence.
We sit very in this weird neutral spot.
My daughter's bodyguard's Honduran, and he's here on a visa and everything. And she was concerned that he was going to get deported. I'm like, he's not going anywhere. He's fine.
Well, that's kind of a common thing that we all have together is that we work.
Yeah.
So, and we're working people. I came from working class. You guys did too. And so we respect people who work. And so even on this show, I'm going to get a bell when I hear, certain themes of American, get back to the roots of America. And it's that we work, people that are working. We respect workers.
America was built by immigrants.
Built by immigrants. Work. See, that's, we want to defend the immigrants because we had ties to immigrants.
Yeah, at some point, our families weren't born here.
We were picking up potatoes and we have an immigrant history, all the whole country does. So we have some respect and some our heart or compassion toward immigrants, but at the same time, we don't want the execution gangs rolling through either, or prostitution.
And of course, people argue that, U.S. already had, gangs, and of course we did, of course we did, but why add to the problem if we don't have to?
We don't want to do that.
We're doing everything we can to take care of the problem we have. Why are we adding to it?
Yeah. I wanted to tell you I appreciate you for coming on our podcast and again, we're here to challenge all Americans to be better Americans. And, man, I want to be like David and Sierra Brannan. I'd love to have a family but I'm part of your family, right? I am. Yeah. I'm part of your family. We love to sit down and eat at the table if we can. And I love you guys so much. And so, I appreciate you guys for coming in on the podcast today. You can find this podcast on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Please rate us, subscribe, and review. And if you have any show ideas or you want to even get in touch with me or want me to connect you to the Brannans, Team Brannan, it's Dabar Cares at dabarlaw.com. And then at the end of the show, I've started praying. So I'd like to pray over you and your family. And I do this at least several times a week anyway. But I'll pray us out and we'll be done for the day, okay? I thank you, dear Lord, for this day. I thank you for this family. I thank you that they are friends and they're not just my friend, but they're a friend to other Americans and people that meet them. Thank you for their family, their home. I ask that you continue to bless and keep them and their children. Help us all to be better Americans. Help us be the best Americans that we know how to be, and help us to help fellow Americans. And I thank you just for friendships and family and food that we get to enjoy together, and good times, joy. And I just thank you for this couple. Be with them, be with their home. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.